This was the best Roman Reigns interview I've ever seen. You absolutely have to go out of your way to see this. And that's not that Logan Paul was a great interviewer, because I honestly think he sucks as an interviewer. But he's got that childish curiosity about things. Like, there was this funny segment where Logan was just kind of casually brought up, like, hey, this wrestling stuff actually kind of hurts. I didn't expect it to be so real. And that kind of actually led into a little tease for what we would see on SmackDown. Check out this clip.
I got into this business not sure what to expect. And sometimes shit gets really real, you know?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of those moves aren't like moves, dude. Like, they hurt.
It all hurts.
Yeah, what?
I don't know if you got to tell me which ones aren't hurting you so I can use those falls and moves. But yeah, I mean, we're not delivering the mail. It's not ballet.
Has it ever
sucks,
been
man.
too rough and gotten too real as a result?
No, because I mean, if it's gotten too real, then the performance gets screwed up, and it gets awkward, and you can tell there's not a chemistry or a flow to it. That's the art of it.
He's really locked in on this being the main champion thing. He's talked about it constantly. Like, it's gonna be mine. It's an easy takeaway. I can grab that thing whenever I want it. Like, the opponents aren't that strong.
Oh, you talking about my stuff?
Yeah. No, him. He's 100% saying the title's his. Like, basically, you can just
my
walk.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, basically, you just walk up and take it any day. Like, doesn't even have to really practice.
Both my co-hosts are they could be pricks.
Those are the worst friends in the world, right? The friends that goat you into a fight. They're like, yeah, he was talking mad shit about you. He said he could just snatch that belt whenever he feels like it. I think that was maybe put in there for this whole, looks like Logan's going to be facing Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, it was cute. It was cute is the word I would use, of just the innocence, the sweet innocence of a young, still a green, still trying to learn the business, Logan Paul. Just kind of coming to the realization that wrestling is stiff as fuck. Wrestling hurts. I don't know what he was expecting going into wrestling, that he was just going to be going out there and just doing like fucking choreographed flippy floppies like a trapeze act or something like that, like a gymnast. That shit's physical as fuck, dude. And I'm here to tell you, like, I was never a wrestler, but I got my ass beat in the ring many times, okay? And I'm here, I've been put through a table, I've been busted open with a fork, I've been stabbed in the head with a fork. I've been through the ringer, and let me tell you, wrestling hurts. It's choreographed, and as Roman said, like, if it just devolves into a full-out shoot where you guys are just throwing punches back and forth, because they got into receipts and that kind of thing, and Roman was talking about, if a guy hits you too hard, you hit him back hard. And they're like, well, don't you guys just end up beating the fuck out of each other the whole match then? And Roman's like, no, because then we're not professionals. Then that guy needs to end up going to work for the UFC or something, not WWE, because he's in the wrong business. So they are professionals, and they do try their best to take care of you, but it is a physical fucking sport. There's no doubts about that at all. If you're going to get in the ring, you're going to get hurt, and you're going to hurt people, and that's just what it is. It's a tough guy business. I don't give a fuck what anybody says, even right down to like the pansiest looking wrestlers you can think of, like the Miz. People still don't take Miz seriously as a tough guy. Well, I'm here to tell you, Miz will beat the fuck out of you. He'll beat the fuck out of anybody listening to this in a heartbeat. Miz is a tough guy. He's a damn tough guy. For as long as he's been in the wrestling business, as many matches as he's had, you know how many times that guy's gotten punched in the face? You know how many times he's punched people in the face? You know how many times he's had been dropped on his head, had a knee to the head? These motherfuckers get their asses beat. I'll tell you, there was one time I took and it's on the simplest shit too. Like I said, I got stabbed in the head with a fork and put through a table. You know what hurt me the most in wrestling? I've been super kicked, all that stuff. The worst that I was hurt in a wrestling ring was I got leg dropped one time. Just a leg drop. And I don't know, I believe I was just supposed to sit still. And I believe like I turned my head, and I don't know if it was just a flinch or whatever, but you know, like I was just looking up at the lights, and then at the last second I turned my head sideways, and I don't know what difference that made or if it would have made any at all. This motherfucker like landed on my head, and I had a pounding headache the rest of the night. My neck was stiff, you know, like when I turned, I think it got jarred a little bit. My friends were ripping on me saying that I got a concussion and shit. So yeah, wrestling's physical as fuck, man. And you get in there and just the simplest things like a leg drop, any little thing can hurt you in there. And these are tough guys to be able to do that night in and night out. And it's funny that Logan Paul's just kind of starting to realize that now. He's starting to realize what he's getting into. But look, Logan Paul's a tough guy too. He goes out there and does boxing matches and shit. This guy boxed Floyd Mayweather. Not that Mayweather's a big tough guy that beats people up or anything. He's kind of a dancer, right? Like he just kind of hops around you and avoids you. But Paul's a tough dude, and he's going to do just fine in the WWE. I don't know about this whole matchup with Roman Reigns. I don't know. I think that's a bit quick to just put him in there with the big dog like that. Not just, you know, because he's green, but because Logan Paul just hasn't earned a WWE championship match yet, or even a, you know, any kind of main event spot. You know, it's a bit much to just throw him in there with Roman. It's a money draw. It'll draw. And who knows, it being at Crown Jewel, that could have been something that they specifically requested. We all know that the Saudi prince basically books the goddamn card. You know, here's $1 bajillion. Let me play with your wrestlers for a little bit. You know, it's like a guy paying you to let him borrow your fig fed for a little while. You know, you let him borrow all your action figures and your ring and that kind of stuff. And he's going to go out there and he's going to book his matches and what his cards would look like and shit. So I'm sure it'll be a fine match. You know, it's not going to suck. Logan Paul's a very talented guy, and he's going to continue to get better the more that he does this. But and working with Roman's going to help him come along. I just think it's a little bit too soon. But my God, do you got to go out of your way to watch this interview with Roman Reigns? This is the best Roman Reigns interview I've ever heard. And again, it's not because he was... you know, Logan and his buddies are such fine interviewers, because they're not. They're arguably the worst interviewers, especially for wrestlers, you know. But this humanized Roman so much, and we got to see such a different side of Roman Reigns for a long form, and he seems like a dude that you'd want to hang out with and have a drink with and kick it with and bullshit with, you know. He seems like a cool guy. He's Joe Chill. And, you know, and even when there was, you know, there's one of Logan's co-hosts was kind of an annoying little fucker, and, you know, like, they're just obnoxious, you know, the whole Logan Paul and his friends are they'll wear on you a little bit over time. And Roman was just cool as shit and just playing along the whole time. So good stuff from that. I have linked that down in the description if you would like to go ahead and watch that full interview. I highly recommend you do. And while you do that, before you do that, let's go ahead and check out the next clip. Hey, thanks for checking out that clip. Don't forget to check out other clips here on the channel. And while you're there, throw a like, throw a subscribe. Don't forget to check out full episodes each and every Sunday of the Pro Wrestling Podcast.